So this is another new thing that we're trying. Basically, we're thinking maybe once a month, we're going to talk about all the movies that were released the month before. Because usually, during a reaction video, we're talking and discussing whatever comes to our mind on the spot. But usually like later, the next day, the next week, sometimes we'll have additional thoughts about the movie. And this is kind of what it is.
And also sometimes you feel like you can't talk through certain scenes because like shit's going down. And you're
and then
like,
we forget by the end of the movie that we were going to say something. Yeah. So this is episode 1 of
Cine recap. Cine recap of the month before. We're watching stuff that we wait. No.
CineCast? CineTalk?
CineTalk?
Yeah. Cine blah blah. Actually, before we even talk about the first movie of May.
Yes.
I just want to really quickly bring up a lot of the comments from the video that I did with my dad for Saving Private Ryan. Yeah. A lot of you guys suggested Fury. You want to see more of it. Clearly, you guys like that video. So there are plans to do more of it. There's only 2 caveats. The first is my dad actually lives on the other side of the country and he was just visiting. The second thing is he's currently actually out of the country visiting family back in China. So as soon as he comes back and finds time to fly over here to Montreal, we're going to film probably multiple videos and multiple episodes. And then, as I get them edited and translated, we'll throw them out.
Nice.
So it might be a little while before the next one, but they are coming.
Sweet.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the first movie we did in May.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. So one thing I have to bring up.
Of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Same here. Let's just dissect the thumbnail for just a brief moment. Can we all just bask in the gloriousness that is George as a half-naked woman going? Because it's
what about Simone's huge pale sausage arms?
Those are my real arms. You guys know how pale I am. I never go outside.
I don't know. That was a fun thumbnail to do.
Yeah.
I was a little disturbed at how easily my face fitted into the
seamless
the wig. Okay, but the movie itself.
So good. So funny.
It was really funny. I remember being really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like there were people in the comments that were like, "You should have seen this and should have seen that movie because it like references this and that." But like, I think
we kind of got it. Like, we might not have seen the like some of like the classic slasher films, but like I think we kind of get references. We've seen stuff around,
and like it very much held up on its own. Because
I agree. Yeah,
because like. Just like some of the other spoof movies that I think we did later in the month or this month, I feel like a spoof movie or movies with a lot of references, I mean, this isn't a spoof movie, but movie with a lot of references should stand up on its own. That it shouldn't absolutely require an audience to do homework first. Because otherwise, if you really don't understand a movie without having seen X amount of other movies beforehand, unless it's a direct sequel, then it's a movie that didn't work. Because otherwise, you know what I mean? Like you can't. Like, it's like a movie adaptation of a book requiring you to read the book first in order to understand the movie.
Totally. Yep.
That's a bad movie, right?
Well,
in this
I don't know.
Case,
I feel like no, it didn't. But I feel like some stuff like it's maybe not like it's an homage to previous movies. So it's like it'd be good to know them. But also not fully necessary. I love how campy this movie was. It was like I love movies that don't take themselves too seriously when they're doing stuff like this, and that's exactly what it did. It was like it was silly when it needed to be silly. It was like gory when it needed to be gory, and it was just like it just was what it was. And they were like, I kind of feel like. I'm putting words into the filmmakers' mouths, but it's like they were just like, this is it, deal with it. Like we're gonna do some fun shit. If you like it, we don't give a fuck. If you do, yay! And we did. It was so good. I still think really about Dale. I love Dale so much. I would die for Dale.
Oh yeah, they're both great.
Oh yeah, of course. Like Alan Tudyk is amazing. Oh my God,
Yeah.
there's this really, really funny Instagram video. So apparently Alan Tudyk played the chicken, or did the voice of the chicken in Moana.
Uh-huh.
And so he's like standing in the sound booth. He's like, and he's like, oh, I went to Juilliard. And it's so good.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Very interesting thing I noticed about this movie, and
Mm-hmm.
it made me realize about tropes in horror movies or slasher films.
Okay.
Because like I think even when we were watching it, I noticed some things were tropes, even though I don't know where it comes from. Like it's become that tropey. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the concept of like the remote hillbilly being serial killers or cannibals or whatever.
Yeah.
I know that's a thing. I just don't know where. Which like I think that's probably where I got the feeling that this is a movie you can fully enjoy even if you don't know where the references are.
Yeah.
Because it's so ingrained.
Yeah.
Like I am aware of that trope and I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know where it's from. I don't even know why, but yeah, and people mentioned the movie Deliverance in the comments.
Oh, I've heard of that movie.
Yeah,
I
I've heard of the movie. I thought it was a religious film just because of the name.
But in Cabin in the Woods, didn't they like stop at a gas station or something and there's hillbillies? And they get
I
creeped
believe
out?
so. Yes, I believe so. I feel like
Or
that
something?
was a
Or
thing.
was that Tucker and Dale?
No, I think they both did it, right? I think that existed in that one too.
Okay, so yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because they stopped somewhere creepy and then they drove through the mountain tunnels and then there was like a barrier. And
Yeah.
we saw a bird fly into it.
And then, and then they were stuck in the barrier. But they did have that like very brief moment of like they're in the middle of nowhere and the people that live in the middle of nowhere are creepy as fuck. Even though,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
though that's not always the case.
Yeah, just most of the time, like Simone.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
The other trope, actually, I just remembered, is the
The
group
sexy
of-
lady dying first.
Yeah, no, well, that too, but also like the group of teenagers, right, or a group of high school or college kids, in the middle of the woods, and then there's always like I feel like Cabin in the Woods really.
Well,
made
that's
it
what
a
I mean.
point.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the cliche of the jock,
Yeah.
the blonde, or they call it the whore,
Ugh.
the idiot,
Yeah.
and then the survivor girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like, again, those are tropes that I'm fully aware of, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know where it started or why it's a thing, but I just know it's a thing.
Yeah, I feel like it is a thing. And that's why. It's just because it's around and we hear things.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but otherwise, I don't know. Like over a month later,
Yeah.
I still have really great memories of this movie. I
It's
just
a
really
lot
liked
of
it.
fun.
And it actually, like, there's scenes of it that really stuck with me.
Ugh.
There are movies that we've done on this channel that I've completely forgotten.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
So what are the moments that really stuck with you?
The dragging of the half a body across his face.
Oh God.
Coming out of the wood chipper.
I forgot about that one. I remember the wood chipper.
Yeah.
One of the ones I remember is like the loose board in the house and like stabbing the guy with a bunch of rusty
right in the
nails.
face. Yeah.
Or actually the worst thing in my opinion was when that guy just like ran and impaled himself on a log.
That was pretty. And his face of realization of like, oh.
Like it's so absurd because like you can't run that fast to like make enough force to actually do that. Oh.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also really glad that was the first death, actually. So this is something that I always bring up in other movies, but I never have enough time to like get the point across. So I feel like I sometimes misrepresent myself. But because that was the first death, right? That guy running in parallel to Alan Tudyk running away from the beast and then impaling himself. That death was so cartoonish and exactly like you say, it's so actually impossible.
Yeah.
That it set the tone.
Yes.
And the rules for the rest of the deaths.
Yeah.
And the movie played within those rules that it established for itself. what usually pulls me out of a movie is when they establish a rule for itself and then they break those
Break it.
rules.
Yeah, exactly.
And then suddenly it doesn't make any sense because it's no longer the universe you're in.
Yep. Agreed.
So in this case, because that was the first death, it like set the tone completely, and that allowed me to go, okay, well then it doesn't matter how anybody dies as long as they die ridiculously.
Yeah. There's a comment that says definitely my favorite rom-com, and I love that so much because the relationship between Dale and the girl was so adorable. At first it was terrifying for her.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it was like, I don't know. I loved it so much. He's such a sweetheart. I have such a huge crush on Dale.
He seems to have an effect on blonde women, it appears. Anything else you want to talk about with this one, or should we jump to the next one?
Let's go to the next one, which is Bill and Ted. That's so funny. We've got Tucker and Dale, Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted. Yeah, excellent adventure.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one was very interesting.
It was the nicest movie I've ever seen.
The nicest?
Yeah, it was just nice. The whole thing was just like pleasant. Do you know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah, like the dad was really the biggest antagonist, if you can call it that.
Yeah.
But he's just a dad who like really wants his son to do well.
Yeah. I guess.
There was no villain in the movie. There was no villain.
No, I guess not. I mean, they did have a little bit of a kerfuffle with the guards.
When
they went.
Mall?
No, not the mall. When they traveled back in time to, oh God, who did they pick up?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
but nothing
in medieval England. That's not a villain. That's just people doing their jobs.
Yeah, exactly. There was
That's like the cops arresting them in the future. That's just people doing their jobs. Because Genghis Khan was destroying a sports star.
Jesus, yeah. Again, the thumbnail is magic. George with your curly hair. It's just perfection. It's just perfection.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. That movie, it was just so nice. It was like a stroll in the park kind of a movie. Because it was also deterministic. They established the point that everything has already happened. That's why they meet themselves right at the beginning, and then themselves go back in time to beat themselves halfway through the movie, which means that everything will already play out perfectly, because otherwise Rufus wouldn't exist.
Yeah, for sure.
Therefore, there was no like sense of will anything work out or not. It was just, let's see how this adventure plays out.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it. Yeah. So it was one of like the easiest movies we've ever watched, possibly.
Yeah, and I think like I feel like you give it lots of points just because it has George Carlin in it. And that was a pretty cool surprise. I haven't seen him in anything ever, really.
Oh, yeah. People who wonder why I'm such a George Carlin fan, I'm just showing my tattoo right now on my arm that I have a big tattoo of George Carlin. That's, yeah.
His face or like something else?
It's like a caricature of him, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
The man, him basically, he taught me English more than any ESL classes I've ever had. Just listening to him over and over and over again.
Fair enough. I mean, we have to talk about how Keanu Reeves has been and is always just wonderful.
Yeah.
Like he is just, I don't know, man. He's just great. He's just great. I feel like
yeah.
I have a huge crush on Keanu Reeves. I feel like in every movie we're just gonna be like, well, who's your crush in this movie, Simone? And I'll be like, this person. Ooh, okay.
This one is
E.T.
is spicy.
Is it spicy?
It was spicy in the comments.
Okay.
Majority of the people who watched this video had said that they never thought E.T. was weird looking or gross looking or ugly, and that we harped on him too much. There were some people who agreed with us.
Yeah. I find that really interesting because I think it's gotta be like here's my thinking. I feel like if you watched it when you were younger, the world hasn't corrupted your mind yet, and so you're more open and accepting of things.
Yeah.
And you have that nostalgia factor. If you watch it as an adult, our minds have already been destroyed by the world that we live in, and so we see things differently now. And it's sad, really. You should be sad for us because we're dead inside.
I mean, probably, yeah. It's yeah, because like I definitely I have no rose tinted glasses with this movie. I have no nostalgia. I don't have any like good or negative attitudes towards it going in. It
It's
was just
funny.
a movie that other people watched,
Yeah,
as
and
far as
I
I'm concerned.
think
Because I didn't grow up in this part of the world. It's not my thing. Yeah.
and and I feel like I think I said this when we like in the ET movie
Mm-hmm.
like our that whatever that's called. What do we call it? Episodes, show, videos? I don't know. In our ET video, I talked about how when I was really really young, my dad put this movie on,
Mm-hmm.
and it scared me so much that I couldn't even get through like the titles. I don't think. Like I don't remember. Like I just remember being so terrified,
Mm-hmm.
and so I have this like negative memory
Mm-hmm.
attached to this movie.
Mm.
It was really
Yeah.
weird too. It was, like we weren't even at my house. We were at like my dad's friend's house, and my
Yeah.
dad's friend had a duck, and
Yeah.
it was like I just wanted to leave. And then he put this
Yeah.
movie on, and it was scary, and I'm like, I hate this. I'm like in this weird, uncomfortable place with a stranger and a duck. Like, why am I
Yeah.
here? Anyway, so that's my memories going into this movie.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So yeah.
Okay. So I do want to address one thing for this video. So 95% of the discussions and comments in this video were just like people discussing their personal thoughts, which is great. That's exactly the kind of thing we want, because that's what we're doing on camera too. It's just whatever comes to our mind on the spot.
Yeah.
What I want to address is the 5% of people who got really angry. The thing is, it's just our thoughts on the movie. We don't know, like, we're not attacking your childhood personally.
No.
I understand that it's special to you, but we're not speaking to you directly about your childhood. Do you know what I mean? It's just our thoughts. That's it. But it got taken very personally, which I understand that this could be very special and meaningful to a lot of people.
Listen, I feel like I totally understand where people are coming from. I feel like one movie that is incredibly special to me. So The Last Unicorn is
Okay.
like one of my like that's my like childhood movie that like
your Blanky movie.
my blankie movie, which is so weird because it's like not really a kids movie. Like it is and it isn't. It's like it's really really weird. But if anyone were to like dig into that, I'd be like, you're crazy. It's wonderful. Like so I get it. I totally understand. Yeah. And it's
Yeah. My childhood, no, you know what? I can't even draw context from that or draw a comparison, because like my childhood is things that are made in China, which I'm assuming most people watching this video would have like zero connection to or
probably
is
yeah.
aware of.
Yeah.
But like one of the cartoons that I watched growing up is called Sanmao, and it is the most depressing communist era cartoon ever.
Oh.
It's literally about a kid who grows up in 1930s China against a backdrop of famine, war, and revolution, and he just dies. That's it.
Jesus, spoilers.
He's just a kid that like starves and dies.
And wow.
That was like the cartoon that I watched when I was growing up.
Jesus.
But like it means a lot to me because it kind of formed a lot of my
communist ways, yes. Sorry.
It formed a lot of my I guess opinions and attitudes towards things in life.
Fair enough, yeah.
Me as a person, it has a lot of meaning to me, even though it's depressing as hell.
Yeah.
But if I were to show it to somebody and they go, "This is depressing as hell, I don't want to watch it," I totally get it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get mad at you.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like people saying Transformers is better than Gundam because Gundam's meaningful to me, but I don't care if you don't like it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. It's that simple. Now, there are people in the comments who said apparently Spielberg specifically asked the designer to make E.T. not cute. It was intentional to make it kind of gross looking.
Yeah.
So it's not just us, apparently. It was intentionally done that way.
I'm so curious why.
Yeah, people said it's probably he wanted people to love the character based on personality, not appearance.
Right. Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, the innocence where we don't judge books by their covers.
I guess.
We judge them by how good they are. next up is, I'm actually really excited for this one because it's yeah. So the fourth film that we watched in the month of May was
The Bourne Altercation.
the Bourne Whoopsie Daisies.
Yeah, it's interesting that we're doing this now because we literally watched the sequel, yesterday?
Like recently, very recently, yeah.
Yeah, very recently, which I think it probably will be on YouTube already by the time you see this video. If not, they'll be coming real soon.
Yeah. So
yeah,
watching the first installment of, I don't even know how many movies there are of this, it was great. It kind of opened up this whole new genre for me of like,
okay.
And I know they're based on a bunch of books. I was actually walking around the bookstore the other day and I saw like a Bourne something. I can't remember the word, but it was one of the words that we haven't talked about yet.
It's getting lazy. The Bourne something.
The Bourne something. No, it's really cool. I think it's, I really like the sort of like thriller, like guy on the run having to like figure out, like, I don't know. It's just, the first one was so awesome. I loved the second one too, but I love that, like, really capable person, like really smart, very like really talented in what they do, and then like amnesia and having to find, like, it's just so awesome. It's really yeah.
It's again, it's just like it's very similar to what I said in during Dune, which is that this movie, this story in the books took what probably would be a cliche already, which is amnesia, and made it work really, really well.
Yeah.
Because when I hear amnesia as a plot point, I think of
soap operas,
yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I've never watched any soap operas, but even I'm aware that it's a super cliche, because it's a very easy get out of jail card for when you write yourself into a corner.
Yeah, I agree.
I've said this many times in various different videos. I really like competent people doing things competently, and this is one of them. And he doesn't even know why. He just is.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Oh God, who was I talking to about this movie? But they're saying that like you have to use whatever is around you, and because he's so capable and he's trained in whatever way, like I think it was the one we just watched. So I guess this doesn't really count as like a May recap, but it's still to like his talents and what he can do. But he picked up like a magazine and rolled it up and it was like, wow, wow, wow. You know, like
that's exactly how he fights.
Yeah. I'm just as good as he is. I can do things. But like using it's like John Wick-ish. It's like using what's around you. Although John Wick does get pretty outfitted in all his like gunny stuff.
He actually has a lot of tools. I would say this is more old Jackie Chan movies where he fights with just everyday objects.
Oh, see, we need to watch Jackie Chan movies.
I know, but nobody else wants to see it. It's like every foreign film we ever do has like no views.
I know, it's a bummer. But maybe sometime you and I could just like watch some Jackie Chan movies. Yeah. And then
yeah. Because like he fights with ridiculous things. He's fought with ladders. He's fought with like.
Oh my God. That I'm trying to visualize the ladder. Like that seems really tricky.
One of the best choreography in the world. So we probably should watch that movie at some point.
What movie is that in?
I don't know the English translation, so we'll have to look that up afterwards. But yeah.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Bourne Identity. Super excited to get into this trilogy quad series.
There's officially 5 movies, but it's a trilogy for this story arc.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So there's one more left called Bourne Ultimatum.
Yes, the Bourne Altercation.
Yes.
I make jokes more than once. Same jokes more than once. Okay, moving on. Next on the list.
Yeah. Okay.
Akira.
Speaking of foreign movies.
Yeah. This one was gross. Like I thought it. Okay, so of course I'm just thinking of the blobby, like fleshy, like just like the that whole thing.
It's also just like it's very visceral. Every character's death, when at the beginning when we see the guy trying to protect the old kid,
Yeah, the old kid. Yeah.
and he gets shot.
Oh,
Right?
it's brutal.
Yeah. It was like the death in Sonny Corleone's death in Godfather.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just spray down until a pulp.
Yeah, it was so weird. It was like for an animated movie, this was one of the goriest movies.
I think that's I think that's because you don't watch anime.
I do watch some anime.
It's pretty
The nice and cutesy anime.
Oh yeah, well there you go.
Everyone watch Fruits Basket. It's so good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this movie. I loved it the first time I watched it when I was much younger, and I still loved it exactly as much.
It was really, really cool, I have to say. Like
watching
people warn me, they're like, what you think it's gonna be way more than that, and it was.
Yeah.
It was like
it's whatever you
cool.
thought it was gonna be, it will be more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really took the concept of cyberpunk. I mean, like, it's not the origin of it, but it's another one of those big propellers of
Right.
that genre.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
something like this is not me harping on this movie or anything, but there's some movies, and this is one of them, where I'm like, I do not want to live in that world. That world looks messy.
Oh, it's a
There's,
horrible world.
Yeah, it's like, and even in like the cyberpunk world, I'm like, it's cool to like run around and have these weird legs and you can jump and you do all the all the fun stuff, but like I want to live in a world that has trees and grass and
It's really funny because everyone, like, whenever people go, I love Skyrim, I love Cyberpunk, I wish I would be in there. That's because you're imagining yourself as the main character. Chances are, if you live in that world, you
You're
would
just
just be
an
the
NPC.
that got randomly run over for no reason.
Oh my god.
And that was it.
In Skyrim, you're one of the people that gets assassinated by the Brotherhood.
So a lot of people also recommended us to watch, Ghost in the Shell, which I mentioned it
Yeah,
in the video.
it's on my list of things that we should
Spirited
watch.
Away, and a couple of other, especially Studio Ghibli movies. I would love to.
We're not going to watch them on here.
We can't.
Yeah.
We can't. Their copyright rules are, I mean, notoriously unforgiving and cruel. Like, you thought what Nintendo's doing to their fans is bad? I mean, yeah. These guys,
doodle.
they'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
They will do the exact same thing, and everything will just be deleted. So I just
Yeah. No. And for the safety of our channel, unfortunately, we're not going to watch some
our
stuff.
livelihood.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, next on the list.
What do we do next? Oh yeah, hot shots.
Okay, so this so ridiculous and so much fun. Like it's just like, what? Cooking breakfast on her torso? What? Like, who comes up with this shit? It's insane. It's so ridiculous and I love it.
Okay, so I'm gonna say something controversial now.
Do it.
But it is, again, preface, it's just my opinion, okay? And I am a nobody. Let's set that ground rule. I am a nobody. My opinions don't matter, but this is just my opinion. Personally, this kind of humor is less for me. It's not that I didn't like it. I did enjoy the movie, but it's not my kind of humor.
I see what you mean. Yeah. I can see that. Like, there was so many moments in Hot Shots or Airplane or Hot Shots Part 2 that I didn't get. And we were like watching and I was like, everyone's gonna have to explain this because I don't know what's going on.
There's a few aspects of it that didn't land for me. The first is jokes that specifically relies on things of the time.
Yes.
Whether it's references to commercials or TV shows. That's what I meant earlier when I said if it requires you to do homework to understand something, then maybe it didn't really. I don't know. That as far as I'm concerned, it didn't really work.
Yeah, I see
because
what you mean.
I can't watch every commercial and every show that it references. before
Okay.
watching a movie. I don't even know what they are.
Oh yeah, like in the comments, someone says the food bit was a spoof on the movie 9.5 Weeks. What is that? Like, I'm gonna have to Google 9.5 weeks. I have no idea what that is
Yeah.
even.
Like, yeah, so it needs me to have watched that first to like get why it's funny. I mean, like,
Oh,
it's ridiculous that someone's cooking food on their stomach, but like, I don't know, yeah. Or like the Chihuahua thing that they kept sitting on
oh
the
yeah,
Chihuahua.
yeah.
So that's the other kind of humor that never really gets me personally. Is that the jokes, which is what people explain to us, that bit is just that's it. Like,
Yeah,
it
so
literally, the
funny.
joke is literally that it keeps happening.
Yeah, yeah.
It has no context or relation to anything.
Oh, okay. So movies like this, they kind of remind me of, and like, I don't even know if I believe what I'm about to say, but the thing that just popped in my head was that movies like this kind of remind me of Family Guy and like those
Okay.
cartoons that have like really random cutscenes to something
Yeah.
that happened that doesn't quite make sense, but it's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what a lot of these movies are. It's like there's like a storyline, but the storyline doesn't really matter. It's all about just like random shit to show people, and it's funny.
I guess
like
so. Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
and I do
yeah.
think that maybe we're a bit like too like it wasn't our time, like movies like that. So
Well, okay, so I don't know about that because so a lot of people, some genuinely and a lot of them sarcastically, try to explain to us it's called quote unquote a running gag with the sitting on dogs. I'll pick another running gag that
okay,
came out of the blue. Monty Python coconuts. That made me laugh because it actually is related to the fact that the movie began with breaking the fourth wall and that it pride itself on low budget.
that's interesting. Yeah, the coconuts were amazing.
It was a joke that kept coming back, but it made sense and it was funny because they established from the very beginning, we don't have money, we can't afford a horse.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
So
That's
let's do
pretty
coconuts.
funny. Yeah.
And it broke fourth wall. This one came out of the blue and it kept going, but because it was like it had no connection as far as I remember to anything that came before. It was just out of nowhere.
Yeah. The next one, yeah.
Do we talk about the bad movie or do we just go straight to the action?
I think we can talk about this. I think
The bad movie?
our Cine Cringe movie for the month of May was Plan 9.
From Outer Space.
What do we
I think
say about Plan 9?
I think the funniest thing after this video went out was everyone going, "No, Simone, you got to give us more credits in the 50s." Even we didn't think it was good. No one thought it was good, and you were because in the video you were like, "Well, what if people did like it?"
No. What I meant from like what if people liked it is like what if people could watch it for its campiness even back then. That's what I meant.
Sure.
No, it's true. I think I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Oh man, yeah, no, this movie just bad through and through.
It's okay. Yes, it is. It's really really bad. But it kind of gives me hope. I'm like maybe I could go make a movie because I don't know. I kind of love that like stuff doesn't work, or I kind of love that stuff isn't good because I don't know.
I think what makes this kind of movie lovable is that it is so bad, but you can feel that the creator did the best they can, that they put their effort in.
See, that's what I see. There's this part of me that's like, that feels like they knew what they were doing the whole time. Because
Apparently they didn't. Apparently
how?
Edward really thought that this is a good movie.
How? How can you? How? I don't understand. I don't.
I
Oh
don't
my
know,
God.
but I think that makes it what makes it endearing. Because it makes me think of like a kid drawing a shitty drawing, give it to you. And you're like, It's terrible, but it's sweet because you did the best you can.
That reminds me of a Family Guy bit where it's like the Beatles and Ringo comes in. He's like, "Hey guys, I wrote a song," and Paul is like, "That's nice, Ringo. We're gonna put it right here, right on the refrigerator." It's one of my favorite bits. It's so sad and funny. Anyway, but yeah, so
man.
the kid drawing something, and you're just like, "Good job, buddy." That definitely looks like a horse.
That's it. Let's leave this bad taste and go to a fun movie, which
What's
is the next one. Con Air.
Oh my god. Okay.
Put the bunny back in the box.
Okay, one of my favorite moments of the Con Air video it wasn't actually the movie itself, but it was something that you and I did that made me really, really happy. Okay. I can't remember the timestamp. I wish I knew the timestamp. But it's when John Cusack and what's his name? Nick Cage. Wow, my brain doesn't work. Okay, it's when John Cusack and Nick Cage hop on bikes and we're both like best friends at the exact same time. And it makes me so happy. Oh, yeah. That movie was awesome. I loved it.
That was like the perfect drunk movie. Like you just watch it, have a couple of beers with your friends.
Totally. It was a riot. It was so much fun. Yeah. Like, even the bad guys were interesting to watch, except for, the one guy. But he lost his arm at the end. Spoiler, haha. So it was, that reveal was crazy. But it was just fun. It was loud and crazy and outrageous and, like, just kind of, like, off its rocker a little bit. And I am so there for it. Yeah. It
was just great. I don't know what else to talk about it, but it was funny. A lot of it intentionally funny, some of it unintentionally.
Yes.
But it was still funny. Apparently, Nick Cage's accent is horrendous.
Sure. Yeah.
So there you go. That was a terrible accent, apparently.
I didn't really think anything of it. It didn't like stand out to me. But then again, I'm not familiar with that accent. So
yeah, I don't know Southern accent either. So
I would like to address one thing, and this is a very serious topic. So bear with me, George, because I know this isn't your jam. Ross and Rachel. It's about so here's the thing. It's a miscommunication. I said that Ross cheated on Rachel, and people, rightly so, spoke up. Okay, from Rachel's perspective.
Her and Ross had not broken up. She was like, I need a break, I need some space. That's her point of view. So, from her perspective, Ross did cheat on her. From Ross's perspective, miscommunication, he thought that they had broken up. So, from Ross's perspective, he did not cheat on her. They had, ended their relationship, and, but then it goes into the whole, okay, but it was, a day of being broken up, and he hooked up with the copy girl, which is you do you, Ross. But in any case,
it's all about miscommunication. So you guys should just a lesson in being clear and stuff about. Are you there, George? Have I lost you?
My phone.
Oh, you were on your phone. You're such an asshole. Not even supporting me in my rant about stuff. Okay, fine. Rant over.
No, I'm kidding. No, we probably have to do a lot of clarifications on our videos because we try to say our thoughts in as short of a burst as possible.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, few words don't do trick.
Wait.
Con Air. Oh, yes. So, Steve Buscemi's character. There were a few theories in the comments. Some people said that it's just because it wasn't the right time, or he wasn't feeling it at the moment, or that girl wasn't his type of victim. Because the only victim he ever mentioned was a woman, so maybe he just doesn't do kids.
But also I don't know, because he was also pretty upset when he heard about the crimes of the guy that lost the arm. So I do think that he has this is weird to say, that he has standards in his
I mean,
his attacks.
Hannibal Lecter has standards too, so
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. He only does rude people. Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
man. Yes, but going back to the theories.
99% of the people in the comments agree that this is a cheesy action fun romp.
Yeah.
I want to know the thoughts on the 1% who thought this that we should take this movie seriously. Why? I don't get it. Why is this movie to be taken seriously?
You know what, that actually really intrigues me because I don't understand why. And
Yeah,
it's really
it's
I'm
entertaining
curious.
shock. Like,
yeah. And the comedy in this film was so it was so there.
Yeah, it was always
So
there. Yeah.
so I would really love to know. Yeah, and not in a negative way, but I'm actually legitimately curious, what.
Yeah, I am very curious.
What from this movie, resonated so deeply with you? Because, yeah. What's next?
Dune.
Dune.
The book that shall never be read by Simone. I'm gonna keep making fun of you on that point until you read it.
I have it right here. Right,
Right, 34 pages in.
I'm on
2 years.
I'm on page 44 now. Okay.
Oh boy.
George, you
All right.
finish. You can do this. I'll just read.
Okay. All right. So Simone's address is what?
No playmates in his own age on Caladan. The dangers were too great, but Muad'Dib did have wonderful companion teachers. There was Gurney Halleck, the troubadour warrior. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'll put it away. Okay, so basically, Dune. I watched Dune, and I think I said this in the video, but like the joke of new kink unlocked, new obsession unlocked. This movie, just I'd say that I'm more into fantasy than I am into sci-fi. But yeah, this totally unlocked this whole new obsession of this world, this universe is amazing. There's so many things going on that I'm I need to know more. I want to know more. I'm so in it. I'm so invested because it was shown to us in such a beautiful way. Oh
yeah, I'm so excited for part 2. I can't wait. Oh, that reminds us. Reminds me.
Yeah.
The hell, we are Legion.
We are one.
And that reminds me that in when we were editing this video, we did actually do a reaction to the trailer.
Yeah.
For part 2, and then it got copyrighted immediately.
Yeah.
So
we
actually couldn't keep it because it just blocked the video from being visible to everybody.
It was brutal.
And I didn't want to edit the trailer because it's already a minute and a half or whatever. If I cut it, then there's nothing left.
Yeah.
So we actually couldn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did watch the trailer and it was awesome.
It was awesome. Oh my god.
Let's put it at that. Okay, so
Dune.
I want to address another thing from the comments about this one. So I mentioned the J word that we couldn't say in the video. So
right.
The word that is the word that basically means holy war. I know it's not exactly 1-to-1, but that's the best I can think of. So the reason I actually don't even say the word right now, it's not because of anything I believe in. It's actually a YouTube algorithm thing. So if you look up, for example, videos about the Armenian word starts with a G, a lot of channels calls it Armenian incident instead of that word. It's because YouTube has an algorithm that tries to sift through channels pretending to be news.
Right.
And spreading false information, but it does it indiscriminately.
No context.
So exactly, without context. So when you throw in those words, it has a very high chance of falling into those traps. Yeah. And then the video gets blocked again.
So there's it's a funny thing, this YouTube thing, because there's a handful of words that we just can't say. And it's not because of any reason, it's just because we're trying not to get blocked on the internet. So I have heard that Patrick Stewart was in the old Dune movie.
Yes, as Gurney Halleck.
He plays Gurney?
I believe so. I think that's what people said. Yes.
Oh shit. Okay, so being a little bit of a Trekkie, I'm like, let's watch it. I want to watch. I want to.
Yeah. So okay. So this is interesting now.
Mhm.
I'm not a Trekkie. I've never seen any Star Trek whatsoever.
Shame.
I know Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier mostly
Weird.
in
Yeah.
the X-Men movies.
Fair enough.
So in my mind, he's always just an old man. So I'm trying to imagine him as Gurney Halleck is really weird to me.
Mm.
But of course, when that movie's made, he probably wasn't an old man. But,
I mean, he's always been like, he's not old when like necessarily when he plays Picard, but like he's always been like bald. So
I mean, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, because Gurney Halleck, in my mind, when I first read the books, I picture him as like a bulky, kind of an intimidating, scary guy.
like Josh Brolin.
Exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Brolin is very intimidating when he wants to be.
Wow, yeah, he's great.
Especially when he screamed, "They're monsters!"
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to watch Dune again. We're shutting this down. We're watching Dune again. This is so good.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, it's such a good movie. We're probably I'm gonna watch it again privately before the second movie.
Same. Totally same.
Before we do the second
Yep.
movie for the channel. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Shall we
Next.
go to the next one?
The next one on the list is, oops, I closed the thing. Oh, this one.
Dogma.
Yeah.
The movie with more dialogue than us in this video.
They did not stop talking.
Apparently that's a Kevin Smith thing. Apparently his movies
Oh.
are very dialogue heavy. That's what people said.
Interesting. Okay, no idea. It made it like if I were to do an example of me watching Dogma, it was like
Yeah.
like the whole time. Not actually, but like that's what it felt like. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to say something. I need to, contribute anything to this video, and I can't because I won't stop talking.
My favorite thing that people have repeatedly told us, and I did not know about this, but I did look at the video afterwards, is that Kevin Smith pretended to be one of the protesters protesting this movie, and he joined them, and a news channel interviewed him.
That's amazing.
If
I
you ever see
love
that video,
that.
you gotta do it. It's so funny.
I love that so much.
What a legend.
One thing that was made known is so I thought he was Canadian, but apparently he's not. Apparently he just
He's from Jersey.
loves Canada, and rightly so.
Yeah.
Haha, we're great sometimes.
Probably all the weed.
There were parts, I'm not gonna lie, like the poop monster. I'm like, not my jam. I don't really need to see that again.
Yeah.
It was like, but that was a lot of fun. I loved it. Alanis Morissette was God. That made my day. Oh,
It's perfect. God is
Oh.
Canadian.
God is Canadian and a woman. And she's so silly, just running around. Just like,
Does a handstand and falls over.
yeah, just like, I loved that so much. It was
Yeah.
great.
No, it was
Yeah.
great. So one sad thing about the fact this movie though, somebody
Oh,
quite a few people mentioned in the comments, is that Kevin Smith actually apparently doesn't own this movie because Harvey, I hope he burns in hell, Weinstein
Yeah.
refused to let it go.
that's insane.
Yeah. I'm surprised he still has any rights to hold on to anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy, but yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
That really sucks to have like your own project, your own creation
Yeah.
being
There's-
taken.
There's something really, really gross about that. Like it's
Well, just
the whole
having it being held hostage by someone else already sucks, but someone
Yeah.
who is just
Horrible.
monstrous
Yeah.
it's Jesus. Like
Kevin Smith should
that's so sad.
redo
Come on.
Dogma, and then it's gonna be like Dogma Kevin Smith's version,
Mm-hmm.
like Taylor
Taylor
Swift's version.
Kevin Smith should come on our show.
Yeah,
Hey Kevin, let's watch Clerks together.
that'd
you
be
can tell
so
us-
freaking cool.
Tell us about that movie. I don't know. People, if just message Kevin Smith.
Does anyone?
somewhere.
Yeah, if anyone knows Kevin Smith, we'd love to sit down. We're going to a meeting. I'll buy you a coffee.
Yeah. Tell him I will totally sit with him and complain about VFS.
Me too. Me too. Anyway, moving on very quickly. Next on the list, The Prestige.
Prestige. Yeah.
The
Prestige.
The Prestige.
All right. This one was yeah.
Like, we're making jokes about the title. That movie was no joke. That movie was intense and terrifying, but yet like beautiful, but also
Kept you
horrifying.
guessing until like the end. Yeah.
And like people in the comments are so right. Like, so I went back and watched the beginning, like just a little bit of the beginning again, and I was like, oh my god!
It's all there. Yeah.
From like the first 5 minutes, Christopher Nolan already tells us what's going on.
Yeah,
it's insane. Exactly. And I love that so much. Like, I have goosebumps right now just because like having that sort of just like intelligent filmmaking, like intelligent storytelling. I don't have that.
It's really impressive because like what it made me thought of, really weird connection, is something that Louis C.K. talked about his comedy, is that when he writes a whole set piece, he takes, like, you usually put your best bit at the end, right? Because that's the climax of the show.
Sure, yeah.
He would, once he got that done, he would take the end bit and put it at the beginning. So now his end is just an open raw that he has to make it work.
Okay,
interesting. And then that's how you refined the piece better and better and better, and you keep doing that. Okay. So what made me thought of that in this movie is that, yeah, Nolan just put the answer at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then now he's forced himself to make the movie mysterious enough and good enough that you don't already go, oh, you already told me. I already know what happened.
Yeah. Because in the like before, like when we started the movie, we didn't know what we were looking for. It was given to us, but we didn't know that that's what we were looking for. And it's so. This is why I find like I don't feel like I'm a very good GM, because when I'm like creating a world or telling stories and I want like the players to go a certain way or do a certain thing or find something, like I don't know how to make it. I don't do mystery very well, and like so that's why I'm never a game master, because I can't sprinkle in information like that. Like I don't know how people do it. It's really amazing. It's like yeah. When you like take a step back from the movie and you just like think about what what's his name? Algier? Is that what? Angier. What Angier did was like just horrific. Yeah. Like just so many murders.
But it started off with him being the sympathetic one. Because he was the one
so
that innocently lost his wife or girlfriend or whatever. And like totally makes sense that he was angry. Totally makes sense that he tried to sabotage the other guy's show.
Yeah.
But even when he lost a finger, I was like, you know what? You killed his wife. Like, that's, like, I mean, you know?
Okay, so yes, from his perspective, totally killed his wife.
He's angry. That's it.
Yes, yeah, totally. I have to play devil's advocate because like Christian Bale and like his character and the wife like had an agreement. They're like, there was a nod. There was like a yeah, do the tricky nod. Like, so, but it just sucks. Yeah, it just sucks that it.
I mean, yeah, but sure, first degree manslaughter. Then you still kill somebody.
Yikes.
You know what I mean? Like,
fair enough. Yeah. I didn't really think about it like that.
But it's still manslaughter, right?
Yeah.
Next one.
Yes.
Yeah. Rocky never blocks 2.
He doesn't block.
Yeah. Apparently that's the thing. Everybody comments confirmed. Yeah, he doesn't do it. He has max constitution.
No, I like it. I like because people were like, because he's not like a boxer, he's a fighter. So he doesn't have the.
I mean, he also is just apparently incredibly incorrect. Boxing, like it's garbage, the way they're fighting. No fighter would actually do that, which makes sense. But yeah, he's a berserker.
Yeah, Rocky.
So the Eye of the Tiger thing apparently is Rocky 3.
I know. It's so funny that it's, I don't know, in my head, like, I think I've also just like heard that song, so I thought it was gonna be in like the first Rocky, and then it was in the first Rocky. I thought it was gonna be in the second Rocky. I'm like, I know that it's attached to Rocky somehow.
Yeah. Somebody made a really good point. Why Adrian woke up and was okay with Rocky fighting?
Yeah,
because of the hospital bills.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, fair enough.
It's it is the U.S. That makes sense.
Man.
Yeah. And somebody else also said apparently it's 1,800 pounds per square inch on average for a boxer's punch.
Holy.
I don't know how true that is. That's what people said. If that's the case, then yeah, Rocky has Homer Simpson syndrome. Yeah, there was an episode where it turns out his skull is quarter of an eighth thicker than everyone else's, so he could just take punches without going down.
Oh my god, that's too funny. I think the one thing in Rocky 2 that was missing, and maybe it wasn't missing, but maybe it just didn't have the same feel as Rocky 1, was the training and like because okay, so in Rocky 1 we had our training montage that led to something good and something like, you know, like positive. In Rocky 2 we had the training montage that led to something bad.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So like he's working really, really hard, and then it was like we got taken down a bit. And so like it didn't give me the same like feeling like Rocky 1. But I still really liked Rocky 2. I also like it because I'm like I solved it. I was like, she's gonna wake up, and like I just like knew that was gonna happen because I'm like so smart. So yeah.
Oh man. People said one of the reasons why is they show the entire ending of the first movie is because VHS had only just
I find that so fascinating
and super expensive, so most people wouldn't have it until like years and years and years later.
Some year.
So they had to like actually just go, here's what happened,
which makes perfect sense, and we talked about that too. It's like
a recap.
Gotta have a recap when
yeah.
Wow, we're so spoiled now. We could just watch anything we want at the drop of a hat. Which I don't even understand that phrase. What does that mean? At the drop of a hat? Like just really quickly? Like if you drop something, it's gonna fall really fast?
I guess so, yeah. Why hat though? It could be anything except for a feather.
Yeah. The next movie that we watched in the month of May was the third installment of the
Austin Powers.
Ostentatious Austin Powers.
Jesus.
Sorry. I've had a shit ton of coffee.
Yeah. So did you know Mike Myers also played Beyonce? I totally just stole that joke from the comment. I said it out loud.
That's funny. Really funny. That's a good one.
Oh man. Okay, so I stand by what I said, that I like the first one the most, and this one probably least.
Okay.
Just because it felt like it was just the same set of jokes. Yeah.
But but this is the same set of jokes is like it's a running joke from the start of the trilogy to the end of the trilogy. So like if you look at like the three movies as like one long movie, like they redo the jokes because that's what people wanted to see.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think the issue with it is that a lot of the jokes for me felt it went on too long. It outstayed its welcome a little bit.
That's fair. Yeah. In the third, and so in Goldmember, I love that we get like this sort of like weird solidified, like you're connected to each other. You're like you've been in each other's lives for all these years, and it's actually because you're brothers. And it's like it's so soap opera-y that I thought that was so funny. Yeah,
that was a good like addition to the world.
Yeah. I also love the younger versions of themselves. I thought, like I said this when we watched the movie too, but like the casting for Austin Powers as a young kid was so good. Like I props to the actor who did like the voice and stuff. I don't know. I think it was just so good.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, like I've thought about this for a bit afterwards, and I stand by the fact that I feel like Goldmember, was wasted.
Mm.
He was in it for like 10 minutes total.
It's
But
yeah,
the
it's
movie's named after him.
that's crazy. Yeah, you're right. He wasn't really in it for very long.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, yeah, because like if you're gonna have a storyline about their past together as the big reveal, then focus on that. If you're gonna have
Yeah.
Goldmember and call half the movie title Goldmember, then focus on that one.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
didn't really do that. Like he was in pivotal plot points,
Yeah.
but
What
otherwise,
if he was the third brother and they left him in Holland? Someone has to, I think someone did mention like why his skin peels, and it's because he like tans or something. But like
Oh,
I still
I-
don't understand
someone
the
said gold flakes.
gold flakes. That's funny. The joke that he eats his skin, I still don't quite understand.
Yeah, I think it was just gross for gross sake, right?
That's
Just like
fair.
fat bastard with
Yeah.
the food.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
greasy.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's it.
Cool,
Really?
cool.
Yeah.
All right. And the next one.
Collateral.
Oh my God, this movie it's one of those perfect movies. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with this movie.
Not really. No. Yeah. It
Like-
was just great through and through.
Yeah, like every bit of it was really enjoyable. Like to the point of like the bad guy, Tom Cruise's character, was still really, really enjoyable to watch. And like, yeah, I don't know. I loved how we were given all the information. Like I loved like the cab ride with Jada Pinkett Smith's character and gosh, I'm so bad with names today. The main character.
Max?
Yeah, what's the actor?
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. I was gonna say Jamie Lee Curtis, and I was like, that's not it. Like, what is wrong with me today? I need to eat a food, I think. I forgot Nicolas Cage. I forgot the name of Nick Cage. So sad. Okay, yeah, so Jada Pinkett Smith and Jamie Foxx, like in the opening was like, it was great. Everything of this movie was great. And the suspense and once we were like getting into like the climax of the movie when he was in the building and like I really loved this movie.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Thought was interesting was people because I said that he felt very like Tom Cruise's character felt very Patrick Bateman-y. And then everybody in the comments said that Christian Bale based Patrick Bateman on Tom Cruise.
That's crazy.
And kind of disconcerting.
Yeah. Interesting. Wait, hold on. Did Christian Bale base Patrick Bateman off of like Tom Cruise or off of Tom Cruise in Collateral?
Tom Cruise, the person. Yeah. That's what people said. So I don't know if it's true or not, but that's quite a few comments I read said that. Yeah. You want to move on to the final movie of May?
Yeah.
Let's end with some tights.
Tights.
Men in them.
This, I think I said this before. This is one of my favorite Mel Brooks films.
Same. And which really surprised me because it was also my favorite Mel Brooks movie. But so many people in the comments said it's their least favorite.
I find that so interesting.
Yeah. Now that makes me think it might
a generational
it's just
thing.
A generational difference.
Yeah. This one was so funny. I didn't realize that. So going into this film, I'm like, well, I've seen Robin Hood, the Disney movie. So I'm like, I don't like. Yeah, we're good. But then someone mentioned that there's a movie called Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, starring Kevin Costner. And I'm like, what is that? So
yeah.
I feel like that might be one that I have to go back and watch because that was one of the things that this movie is spoofing.
Yeah, we'll put that on the list. Yeah, something for the future.
Also, I have to, so yes, the fox from Robin Hood was my first crush.
All right.
I mean, there's got to be people that agree with me. Come on, he was super. He was
furries. Yeah.
Fuck you, George. No.
Oh man.
No.
Sure,
No.
sure, sure. No. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's
Not
fine.
my jam. One more time for the cheap seats at the back. How do you say his name? Carrie
Elwes?
Elwes?
Yeah,
Carrie Elwes.
apparently. Okay, there was a video apparently of him saying his own name. I gotta go watch that.
Oh, I should
Remember
definitely watch
again.
that.
Especially if we watch any more future movies with him.
Agreed. Yeah, I definitely like I really like him in everything that I've seen him in.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he deserves the respect of like saying his name properly, and I'm really sad that I've butchered it so many times.
It's you know what really surprised me about him. So every movie we watch that has him in it, he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Like the best parts of all the movies that we watch with
Except
him
for
in it.
Twister, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, well, sure. But even then, he was a great villain.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Or antagonist, yeah.
When he died, I was like, yep, bye-bye.
And he's still an active actor.
Yeah.
So what I'm surprised by is that that I didn't know of him in the same way that I know of other actors
Yeah.
of his caliber, even though I haven't seen any movies with him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
He's
Which is
like
kind of a
he's like
shame.
one of those like under the radar amazing actors that I feel like they have the best life, honestly. When you're like when you just like work consistently, but you're not like in everybody's
right.
face all the time. It's like you can just
Right.
enjoy your job and not have to like deal
That's true.
with yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, that's it. That's all the movies we made in May. Or
Yeah,
made.
we
that
made them.
watched.
We
That we watched in May.
Wait, is it because May? Like we made them?
Sure. That's exactly what I meant to do.
Oh man, yeah, that was good. That was a good month.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Not too hot, not too cold. It was good.
All you need is a light jacket. Okay.
Okay, cool. That's it. We're done.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Or like, I don't know.